Liberal Fix is brought to you by Blue Push Media. News important to progressives and liberals across America.
On the day that John Kennedy came to Dallas, I had an invite to go downtown, so I took it. I went. It was a great reason to cut class, okay? It's my, yay, I'm going to see the president. So I was on Main Street when the motorcade went by. And I can still, to this day, I can see Jackie in that bright pink coat, with the navy trim, but that pillbox hat. And, I wasn't sure how I felt about the president. But I loved her, and I love the kids, of course. So there I was on Main Street with my college friend. We were watching. And the motorcade went by, and it was a great day. Everybody was what I say Texas nice. So even though the atmosphere in Dallas was very right-wing and very anti-Kennedy, that parade down Main Street, that motorcade, people were, for the most part, very polite. And after the motorcade passed on its way to Dealey Plaza, I stepped down on the curb and I stepped on a crumpled piece of paper, and I picked it up and looked at it, and it was a wanted for treason poster with a photograph, front and side, of President Kennedy. And under it were 7 accusations against the president and why he was wanted for treason, for aiding and abetting the communists and for putting communists in his administration and all kinds of other stuff, and for keeping secret his marriage to some German person. I was like, okay. I'd heard all this before. And I said, sounds like the Birchers could have, produced this thing. It wasn't signed. I threw it back on the curb, and we went out to lunch. We were going to this place called Kip's for a Big Boy on Mockingbird Lane. While we were driving there, unknown to us, John Kennedy was killed in Dealey Plaza by shots from Lee Harvey Oswald. When I got back to Dallas, we didn't eat, of course. I got back to Dallas. I was to school, to the dorm. I was just heartbroken. I couldn't believe the president had died in Dallas. I just couldn't believe it. And I knew that I had to call my family, my parents in Chicago, so I did. I called, and my father picked up on the second ring. And he said to me, he told me what he knew, and then he said to me, you have to be careful. You may need a lawyer. I said, what are you saying, Dad? And he said, they might think we did it. I said, what? Wait. Did you have anything to do with this? And he said, I have other calls to make, and he never answered me. When I hung up the phone, I was like horrified. I thought, could the John Birch Society have had anything to do with killing the president? I didn't know it, and my father didn't know it. But at the time, the Dallas police had already picked up Lee Harvey Oswald. And by the next day, Lee Harvey Oswald had been identified as a communist. And all I could think of is, they're really off the hook. The right wing is really off the hook here. Lucky this guy was a communist.